Live to various locations where heads of state and dignitaries are arriving ahead, of course, of the inauguration of President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa tomorrow at the Loftus Versfeld Stadium in Pretoria. We understand the visuals that you're seeing now live are of the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi, who we understand has arrived now at Waterkloof Air Force Base. We're waiting for that aircraft to open there, and of course the security personnel to welcome the head of state, Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, so we know that all the SADC, the Southern African Development Community heads of state, have been invited and all say that they will attend. The Interministerial Committee planning this inauguration said that they will all be here to witness this auspicious occasion. There will be other heads of states as well, a delegation from the US, a delegation from many parts of the world. But of course, this is why security is going to be incredibly tight tomorrow, and why many of the guests will need to be in place very early, and then we'll have, as we've seen at previous inaugurations, the arrival of the heads of state at Loftus Versfeld. But right now, Felix Tshisekedi, this is Waterkloof Air Force Base.
And you recall that South Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo do share very strong relations. You know that Felix Tshisekedi had won, of course, the long-delayed presidential election in his country. And basically there'd been vast protests over alleged rigging. But the relationship between South Africa and the DRC, I think, which is very important, this again signifying, I mean, South Africa, I was listening, Francis, to one of the analysts a bit earlier on when they indicated that many around the world always look to South Africa and the way it peacefully transitioned into democracy. So on the continent, when there is such an auspicious occasion that heads of state and other dignitaries are invited to, they always heed that call to come and show support for South Africa. Tshisekedi, of course, himself receiving more than 7 million votes in his country, or about 38%. And he's, of course, the son of the late opposition leader, Etienne Tshisekedi. Just giving a bit of background there to this head of state, the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi, who's arriving at the Waterkloof Air Force Base at this moment. Those are the live visuals that you're seeing there tonight.
So about 32,000 people are expected to attend. That's, of course, full capacity at Loftus, but invited guests making up 4,500. So these are the heads of state, also government inviting people from various sectors of society, parliamentarians, judges, ministers, deputy ministers from across Africa. So yes, a chance for African heads of state to hobnob together and come together for, if they all come, what is turning into be an auspicious occasion for Africa itself.
Absolutely, Francis. Security expected to be very tight. You see the motorcade there of the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi, of course, now escorting him from Waterkloof Air Force Base. And we understand, of course, the stadium itself will be packed to capacity with the more than 200 buses ferrying people from 5 provinces, Limpopo, the Free State, the Northwest and Mpumalanga, as well as Gauteng. And we also saw the state of readiness as well. The gates themselves opening up at 3 a.m. So it's going to be a very, very long day tomorrow, but of course all culminating to that moment where the president-elect himself, Cyril Ramaphosa, will officially be installed as the country's president, with millions of people, of course, watching here in South Africa and across the continent as well, as you see those dignitaries arriving there. So a lot of interest on the continent as well as in the rest of the world about what's unfolding here in South Africa tomorrow.
All right, so parts of Pretoria already in lockdown, and these are live visuals from Waterkloof Air Force Base. A little bit dark, but we know the head of DRC arriving. We can't actually see him amongst those crowds there. Let's move to something else. Earlier we were talking about